Flipendo the glass jar, Harry.
Hey, hello. Hello, guys. We are about to get a debug showcase, show off some elements in this game. SOS is still with it.
Try hitting the glass jar with Flipendo.
Remind you guys that our charity this year is the Trevor Project, that is giving support to the LGBTQ plus community, suicide hotlines, and educational resources.
Flipendo the glass jar, Harry.
Parents and teachers and all great stuff, which shows that as a community. And in 5 hours, probably a little less than 5 hours even, we'll be playing the British World Cup. And you can use your donations to vote for which country you want.
Let's
to
go,
see.
Harry. Hit the glass jar. We need to get on with the denoming.
It's my favorite country in the world. So get those donations in. If we get... oh, you can't hear me well? Okay, I'll scream. No. But if we get
Flipendo the glass jar, Harry.
in the next 15 minutes, SOS will also sing me happy birthday. This is my birthday in 2 days. So keep that in mind as well. That's not a target incentive, so you can.
Let's go, Harry. Hit the glass jar. We need to get on with the denoming.
Song, so that's great. So I'm gonna give it over to SOS.
Cool. Yeah, I forgot GameCube for some reason is like 20 million times louder than Xbox. Don't ask me why. Yeah, cool. So debug. So.
Come on, Harry. Hit the.
As you can see, we have debug active. So this was discovered a while ago by accident, and then no one really knew how it worked. No one could really understand how the debug menu was activated. Someone just did it by accidentally, like flipping some stuff in the game. But then to go to over the last year, at some I can't remember exactly when it was. Jigoti may be able to correct me throughout this entire thing, but on things like that. Jigoti worked out a way of having a cheat code which allows us to have it active at any time. It is possible on GameCube and Xbox. Obviously, Xbox, you'd have to soft mod your console, which is a pain, and I don't want to do that, so I'm doing it on GameCube because it's easier, because Wii's are basically soft mod machines. So, the debug menu consists of I'm a big cheater, and a level selector. So, I'm a big cheater gives you complete current level, which obviously completes the level you're on. You have God mode, which I think makes you invincible. Lots of these don't work, is the issue. Show me the money gives you money, but it doesn't work. Fully loaded, I think, fills up your inventory, but also doesn't work. Kill Harry kills Harry. Remove bad guy defeats the bad guy. And allow cheaty buttons puts on cutscene skipping. And it also puts on, like, flying, what's it called, ghost mode. But because there's another cheat code that we use that just makes us active from the start. So what it means is we can do this. We can fly around. Oh, something I noticed actually. If you fly over here somewhere, let me try and work this out. Be a bit funny,
Try
but
hitting the
where
glass
is it?
jar with Flipendo.
Can't get it to work. No, sometimes Ron can follow you up into the air. You can start the time whenever whip. Like, I mean, I'm just going to keep going until there's not really a set time on it. Yeah, it's not happening. But yeah, so that's basically what we can do. And the other thing we can do is, so for example, if we hit this glass jar, we can just skip cutscenes. So that's another thing that's actually built into the game, which just isn't used. But yeah, so that means we can just sort of explore around. There's nothing super interesting around here. It's all fairly normal. Oh, we can hit this cutscene. It's all fairly normal stuff. You can go out here. This is all solid for some reason. These aren't. But yeah, so the first thing I'm going to show off is... Also, first of all, Nick, so this is for you in particular, if you're still here. If we go to Night Zero, we go down to Whomping Willow. It's called the Imp Area. So there's an area with guy trashes in it, but in the game they call it the Imp Area. So that's why I call them imps, even though they're not actually imps. There are 2 unused spells. There is Locomotor Mortis. We can't see either of them. It only has like the remnants of the spells. There's Locomotor Mortis and there's Fumos, but I will show those off in a bit. So yeah, so there's... Oh, that's not the right one. So there's the Imperia, and then there's this, which is Guy Trash area. So I don't know if anyone was watching the beginning of the run earlier. This is an unused area of Whomping Willow. So this would have been instead of the Wiggenwell Potion area. So let me just equip Lumos. So you start off with these Guy Trashes. You have to kill them. They don't like to die. Yeah, any area you go to that doesn't have a designated loading screen just gives you a blank. Like they haven't added a design, so it just gives you a blank loading screen. Yeah, so we defeat these guys. We don't have to, but we may as well. Then you can crawl under here. Obviously, this is like slightly buggy, this area, so some stuff doesn't work. There's these minecarts. So this was originally meant to be like a... Sometimes they can come quite dark on stream. Yeah, this is meant to be like a cool area. Jump up here. That chest has nothing in it, it's a trap. Hedwig's here. We can call Hedwig down.
Hedwig!
Oh, yep. Owl treats. You can push this down. And you go around here. There's meant to be a side door here, but obviously nothing's programmed properly, so it's broken. You can push that cart down. However, there's actually a skip in this debug room, this semi-functioning room. You can... Oh, okay, let me get this. You're meant to push the minecart all the way around. But if you... Oh, I can't line this up. Let me get back up here. Yeah, if you run at this at the right angle, you can grab a ledge here, basically. You can get to this side, which is where the owl treats are. You feed it the owl treats. You go through here. And then the owl opens up this passageway, and that takes you to the Whomping Willow fight. So yeah, that is one of the areas that isn't used. The other area that is in the game but isn't used is... Where is it? Here, pre-library. So this is another empty loading screen. So this would have replaced the... if you remember where the prefects were, the sideways view place where you go through to get to the library and back out again. So this door takes you to the library. And then this would be the way to the restricted section. Spells, this isn't programmed properly, so spells aren't going to work in here. But yeah, so you can go through here. On the stream, it's probably going to be incredibly dark. Let me see if I can brighten it, actually. Let me just do this. Wait. Properties. Configure video. There we go, slightly brighter. Yeah, so you can go through here. The chests are all empty, so they don't do anything. So yeah, this is all just corridors. So this is like a fairly boring part of the game. It's corridors. More corridor here. And then you go through this door. And now we're in some prefect sneaking. So there's actually prefects in this area. Where is it? They are around somewhere. Where is he? I'll just wait for him to appear. There he is. But they don't have an animation for turning around, so they get stuck in the floor. Yeah, so you go through this room. I try to be careful because sometimes this game likes to crash if you get caught. And then there's this room. which is like a full sneaking room. Yeah, please follow me. I stream all the time. Yeah, so there's like loads of prefects in here. And then you're meant to go over here and flip this switch. And it opens up a door. We can't do that because spells don't work. So we'll pretend we've done that. And then we get to here. And then this is the final room. That prefect is going to catch me. And yeah, so... I've never seen that prefect go up the stairs. Interesting. Yeah, so you'd go up here. This would be where you'd leave the restricted section because there's a crawl hole here. So you'd leave out here, and that would be the restricted section. But yeah, so that is the other area that was like designed but never used. And it's a shame because this is a lot cooler than the one they actually used. But it's very laggy, so I can sort of understand why. Shouldn't hit the mic with my headphones again. If they catch you, it puts you back at the beginning of the entire area. Like it puts you back all the way. So sometimes it crashes. But yeah, this is like original areas. The other area you don't see in a run. Yeah, I think it's too big because it lags a lot. Like a lot. The other area you don't see in the run is everyone's favourite place, Gringotts. So GBA link. So if you collect 24, if you connect the GBA version to the GameCube version, the GameCube version opens up an area in the GBA version to find a card. You go and get that card, and then when you have all the cards in the GBA version, it unlocks this area in the GameCube version. So this is Gringotts. In this area, all it has is 4 chests. It has Alohomora, Defindo chest. There's an Incendio chest and a Scourge chest. Don't think... Yeah, he has dialogue.
This place really hasn't been the same since the break-in last year.
This area, all it has is there are 4 cards. I believe it's 58, 59, 60, and 61. But they're all duplicates of cards we get in the run anyway, so it doesn't save time. And it's also only accessible on GameCube. Connects to a GBA version of HP2. It opens up an area in HP2 GBA to get... If anyone watched Liam's 2 GBA Hundo run, he only gets 24 cards out of 25. It's because the 25th card is only obtainable by connecting to the GameCube version, so we don't require it for 100% because it would be stupid. But yeah, this is Gringotts. And then I'll show you where it takes you to. If you leave Gringotts. The area exists on the Xbox version. It's not accessible because the only way to get to it is to have that GBA connection. But it takes you back here, which is where the portrait is, which is in this little side room in the entrance hall. Also, there's some floating bottles. Ow, ghosts. But yeah, we're in the entrance hall. There's Ron. So yeah, the way you're meant to go to that is on GameCube. You go to that room and you go to Gringotts. You can't get to Gringotts any other way. Yeah, the Xbox version doesn't have access to it at all.
Harry, I'm over here.
Yes, so to get all 25 cards on 2 GBA, you have to buy a GameCube adapter connector. Obviously, the game is stupid. Then I'll show off something else that is a cut thing. If we go to day 2, DADA complete. So now imagine we've just finished Defense Against Dark Arts, so there's not going to be anything in here. So if you come in, we're in the classroom. There's Snape and Gilderoy Lockhart. So normally, when you go to Expelliarmus, you go through this portrait here. So that's the crawl space you get to the portrait. There is, in fact, behind this portrait, another crawl space. Fun. So there was meant to be another challenge in Defense Against Dark Arts in this game, which is actually shown here. You can see it says DADA Thumos. So either you were meant to learn Lumos in Defense Against the Dark Arts and they misspelt it. Or you were meant to learn Fumos at some point. But if you open this, if you click on this room to try and open it, it soft locks the game, so the game crashes, so you can't do anything. And there's no dialogue in the game, the text banks that suggest Fumos was a thing, so it's probably an early on thing. Fumos is a spokes. If you go to, HP3, you know the spell that Hermione can cast to wrap everyone up in smoke. It's that spell. But yeah, so Fumos or Lumos, whatever, was meant to be another challenge. What was the other thing I wanted to show? I think that was it. And then since we're in Defense Against Dark Arts, if we take you to Expelliarmus, I'll show you what could be a potential skip in Expelliarmus. Yeah, this is all stuff that's in the game. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if there's actually anything there, but there's no way of opening it. And I don't think there's any way of viewing maps without viewing them this way.
That Expelliarmus spellbook is down those stairs.
So as you saw, is the people who were here earlier, you can skip this entire challenge by going this way. And then what you can do is you can jump into this wall. Anyway, so there's an invisible ledge here. You can jump into this wall. And then you can climb down here and just skip the entire challenge. What you're meant to do is you're meant to go up this way. Then there's a room with spiked balls. You knock down all these spiked balls. You go through. There's a room with these spinning things. You go through here. There's this room with all these fire crabs. You go around here. You climb up. You climb all the way around here. You climb across. You keep walking across. You come in here. You knock the spike ball down. And the spike ball knocks it out. So that's the intended way. However, what you can do is if you can just get to the exit door, you can just leave the challenge. So if someone could find a way to get to the door to leave the challenge, because there are ways of getting out of bounds in that challenge, you could skip the entire challenge rather than just a small skip. The issue is any skips we have, any out of bounds glitches we have so far, you end up being too low. So you have to find a way to gain height out of bounds. So it's not likely to happen. The other thing I'll show you is if you go to... Yeah, in this game, with any spells, you learn them at, if you haven't learned them, you get given them at certain points. So Scourge you get given at the beginning of Avapause. Avapause you get given in Incendio. So Expelliarmus you get given anyway. There is no way out of bounds in that second room at the moment, June, unfortunately. The only ways we know to get out of bounds are in the first room. If someone found a way, potentially, but you still have to be fairly high up. The easiest way would just be to find a way to, gain height whilst out of bounds, but that hasn't happened yet. Okay, so this is the night when we go and find Draco Malfoy. So door storage does. I'll show that off after this because that does technically work, but I'll show off why it's not possible. Yeah. So now we're in the bathroom. So this is on the night where we go and see Draco Malfoy. The Chamber of Secrets is actually here the entire time. So, if you could clip out of bounds, you could get to the Chamber of Secrets early. Sadly, though, it doesn't load. Sad times. Look, we're in the chamber with nothing here. However, you can, if you do this. And then quit and restart the area. To wait for it to load. Loading screens on GameCube are a lot longer. So yeah, if you save and reload, the cutscene actually loads. So we are now in a state where we are on the 3rd night, where we're in the 5th night cutscenes and stuff. Also, all the dialogue says ooh.
But only just.
You've got to help me, Tom. We've got to get her out of here. There's a basilisk and it could be along any moment.
The basilisk
Yeah, so
won't come until it's called. Let me tell
if we
you
could
about
clip
the
out
real
of bounds in the
reason things like
bathroom, we
this.
could get to this
She's
fight
been writing in
early.
a diary. My
The
diary
issue
for
is
months.
the way
I
this
grew
game
stronger and
works. It's
stronger on a diet of
like
her
checkpoint
deepest
system.
fears until I had enough power to start
When
pouring
you
a little
end
of
day,
myself back
rather than
into
it being like you've ended day,
Ginny
we're
Weasley
putting you
opened
on
the
this
Chamber of
day.
Secrets.
All it does is
She
it says
draws
you've
red
ended day,
messages on
we'll
the
take you
walls
to the
and
next
set
day
the
that's
serpent of
stored.
Slytherin on the mudbloods
So
and
if
the
we were
Elite
to
Lip.
end day after this,
I'm afraid so.
it would just put us
Ginny told me all
onto
about
the
you, Harry.
Incendio day, which
So
is
I
the day that
decided
would
to
normally
show you my
happen
famous
after
capture of that great
Slytherin
Hagrid
Dungeons.
to
So
gain
it
your
doesn't
trust.
actually
You
save any
brained
time,
Hagrid.
Yes.
if it was
But
possible.
you, Harry
The only way it would save time
How
is if
is it
someone
that
found a way to
you
break
managed to
the
defeat the greatest
checklist
wizard of all
system. That's the
time?
only way this
Why
would save
do you
time.
care?
Anyway, it's 2 separate cutscenes, by the way. And the snake's not there. Where's the snake? There it is. But yeah, the reason... Let me get to... Can we go back to Expelliarmus? Everyone says ooh. Okay, I need to save the game. There we go. Where is the 7th floor? There. By the way, I have done a run of this. I've done a run of Debug. Debug. Cutsceneless, whatever. It's really stupid. Anyway, so I'll show off I'll show off this other strat. So we'll start a new game. This is a glitch that used to be used in any %, but it's not anymore because it was got obsoleted. But it's only the strat it was used for was only possible on GameCube. Long story. It works differently on Xbox. There is nothing in the Green Gots room. It's just 4 chests. So what you can do in this game is if you... I missed that. Check this one. So if you quit as a cutscene is loading, what the game does is it takes where it would put you after the cutscene, and it stores those coordinates. So right now, it's stored the coordinates for where I would be put after that gnome falling down cutscene. Any time now that I do an action that puts me to a very specific set of coordinates, for example this,
Can't get in that way.
the game warps me somewhere else. So at the moment, I've just been flown out of bounds to some random place. I have no clue where it's taken me. I could not tell you. Wait for it to reload. There we go. So yeah, that's what happens if you store coordinates. So if you can do that in certain places to save time, but none of them are useful at the moment. So it used to be the method for skipping Avaphors. What you used to do is you used to store a cutscene, and then you would... Oh, also Harry has no hair. I forgot that was a side effect. Here's Harry. Doesn't he look gorgeous? I forgot that happened.
Let's go, Harry. Hit the glass jar. We need to get on with the denoming.
Harry's had a tough time with the Dursleys. It's hard to show his face as the camera likes to swing around to be behind him.
Try hitting the glass jar with Flipendo.
Okay. But yeah, so the reason you can't use this for Expelliarmus skip is that theoretically it would be possible. If you could get into Expelliarmus with it still active, it would work. The issue is that the way the developers designed the grand staircase is very annoying for it, because so now we have storage active. Even if we don't, we do. So we'll just pretend we do. So you run all the way downstairs. Let's go to Expelliarmus. The issue being, we can't open this door with storage because it will do the thing we just saw. It will take us to a random place. If you can skip this door, we'll see if we have storage. So imagine we found a way to get past that door without literally doing anything that interacts with anything, really. You have to find a way to click through the door without opening any doors or interacting with chests or doing anything. Oh, okay. Okay, ignore that. Anyway, so what would happen is we'd go to Expelliarmus, it would spawn us out of bounds, and those burrow cutscenes are in a certain... The coordinates of those cutscenes are in such a way that they are perfect for jumping to the exit for Expelliarmus, so they would save time. But we can't get past this door. This door is the bane of that skip. So yeah, that is basically all the interest. There's not really anything that's like stored out of bounds or anything like that. Unfortunately, everything is fairly in the open in this game. There's some hidden areas, nothing interesting. What I can show you is if I go to day 1. Obviously, you know I love gnome tossing. Clearly, the developers also love gnome tossing. So you have gnome tossing, more gnome tossing, yet more gnome tossing. God, not more gnome tossing, and some more tossing. Last installment of tossing. Yeah, so the developers also weren't happy with gnome tossing. They didn't enjoy it either, but they still put it in. So, but yeah, and then what else is there to show? If we go to all maps, if we can scroll all the way down. There's some test maps here. But what I'm trying to get to is so when you finish Quidditch, this is what you would have seen. This was the original idea before they changed it to just showing the spellbook. Ta-da! Isn't this gorgeous? It's such a pretty screen. So that was the original end Quidditch screen. Low effort. Oh, do I have my broom? No, I could show that off. You can get out of bounds here, by the way. Like, you can just get out of bounds into... What's the best way of doing this out of bounds? This way, there we go. Yes, you can get out of bounds. There is an actual way of doing this using the broomstick. But all of this is loaded. All of this has collision. And you can run around on all of the grounds. Because obviously you can fly around on the broom. So they have to make it have collision. You can run up here. You can get out of bounds again. Up this way. Yeah, you can just walk around this wall. And jump off into the distance. You can. I think it just does the same. I think it just puts you back into this animation. I don't think it does anything, if I remember correctly. Unfortunately, we don't have the broom, so I can't test it, and it takes a while to get. Yeah, I'll show you the test rooms. So if you have like the oh, by the way, this is the animation viewer. This doesn't work. It's not functioning. You can make it... Oh, no. You can make it show the word dodge. That's all you can do. But that's just... Nothing here works. This is world record pace. I'm going to beat the world record. Clearly. But yeah, so all these test rooms are individual developers test rooms. So if you look in the manual... These are the initials of all the developers and testers and stuff. So this one is fairly empty. This one's fairly empty. This one. Okay, so I'm gonna give a warning. If anyone has any issues with like flashing lights or is like photosensitive or whatever, I would look away from the stream for a short while, because this room flashes a bit. So I'll give everyone a heads up. Look away from your screens. I will tell you when you can look back at your screens. But it's a cool room, so I do want to show it off. Cool, I think I've given enough warning. Let's go. Yeah, so this room has these flashing lights. However, this room is also, in case anyone recognize this, anyone wants to take a wild guess as to what room this is? Anyone? Wild guess as to where I am? Can you work it out? Can anyone work it out? Bookstore is a good guess. It is, yeah, Whip is Borgin and Burke's, yeah. I assume bookstore may have also meant that. But yeah, it's Borgin and Burke, so this is where the Lumos book is. You can actually where is it? There. I think I may have crashed the game. Have I crashed the game? Yeah, I crashed the game. So, I think it depends on what state you're in, but you can actually get through part way through Borgin and Burke's, and like grab the Lumos book, and the Lumos book cutscene plays and all that sort of stuff. It can all play. Harry's gonna get his brain back now, unfortunately. Sad times. Also, I'm not using cheating. No, not at all. How dare you accuse me of that? Not in a million years. Cool, we have about 10 minutes left, so I will try and get through the rest of this. Yeah, no, this is Wii, yeah. It's the Wii GameCube version is just so slow, load-wise.
EA Games.
Challenge everything.
I mean, we're discussing at the moment whether to allow HDD for Xbox to make it more consistent for runners. So there are discussions about how the game runs and stuff. Okay, so we just have to load up the game again. I won't go back to that room, but that room has basically the entirety of Borgin and Burke's loaded in, so you can just run around in Borgin and Burke's. You can't complete it like you would because none of the like second half stuff works. Like the buttons don't work and the imps aren't there, so that all doesn't work. But you can fly around it using no clip. Test bed. What's the next one? What are you sure? This one has a cool thing. If you ever wonder what the globe looks like, it looks like... Where is it? This. Ta-da! Some fun moving texture designs. Nice globe. There's a book drawing, so that's a drawing from the book. There's a pool. Some more changing light things. I don't know what this is. This is like a weird color changing button thing. Yeah, so that is this one. A lot of these are fairly similar, so it's like it's not really much to show off. That's the wrong one. This is the only one that's different, because this one has a different base, because this was used by a this room wasn't a game developer, this was like one of the texture artists. So this room is just them testing textures. There's a ghost over there. There's a guy trash. So that's that room. There's not... Yeah, I'm just going to speed through these. Some of these have funny things. Much dirtiness abounds. This is Julian's Folly. And this is line dancing for fat skinheads. Are we all ready for line dancing for fat skinheads? Because fat skinheads are these. Once the screen loads. Here we go. Look at all these trolls. Trolls. Running around in the trolls. So these are the fat skinheads. Yeah, this was used to test like how many objects you can have on the screen. Look, Harry disappears. Harry is just hair now. Rather than Harry being anything but hair, Harry is now just hair. It's interesting that the game prioritizes his hair over his body. But sure. Yeah, but that's this room. There's nothing else in here. It's just these guys. Then there is the testing room, like the movement testing room. This is the pink room. No, it's not there. It'll be... Yeah, the enemy is unused. There's no trolls in the game. So what I assume is that rather than prefects, there were meant to be trolls originally in some areas, but they just took them out. I assume. Which is a shame because they're cool. They look a bit basic. Where is it? Pink room. We are going to see test display doodah in a sec. That's the last thing we're going to look at because once we go into that, we can't come back out. So I put it last. We will finish with a dramatic reading. Yeah, so this is the test room. Grab a card. I'll show you what happens if you save in a test room. Hey, Tedder. It's good you're awake for the race. The asylum. No one knows because if you click on the asylum, the game crashes. So I assume it's just they chucked a ton of stuff into it to see what the capacity of how much stuff you could have is. I assume is how it worked. But yeah, you can't actually look at it. Yeah, so if you save, you get spawned back in the room you're in. Nice. And we can grab this card again. Give me the card. Yeah, so this is where they test this stuff. So these are like, yeah. This is used in Whomping Willow and nowhere else. This is also the same thing, yeah. Yeah, so this is lots of testing stuff. This Scourge Wall doesn't exist. Then there's this room. This has ladders. There's some chests in here. And then finally, everyone's favourite room. It's Dobby's head. Try and get it at a good camera angle. It's Dobby. Yeah, so Dobby was originally meant to be in the game. His head is in the game. The rest of it is not. Dobby's having a fun time just talking to himself. Dobby does have dialogue that's in the game as well. But you don't hear it. Yeah, so Dobby's going to keep talking to himself. Fun time. Yeah, so this is Dobby. Hi, Dobby. And then the final thing we're going to look at is text display doodah. So this is basically just a bank of all the text in the game. This has every single bit of text that is in the game. So you have all like the locked. There's no way headway. Yeah, all that stuff. So this is the dialogue that was originally meant to be at the beginning. Harry Potter lived at number 4 Privet Drive with his old uncle and aunt and their vile son Dudley. So this is like, they were meant to have Dobby and that cutscene where Harry's at home at the beginning. Harry's best friend Rob Weasley and his brothers Fred and George arrived in a flying Ford Anglia to rescue Harry from his prison. They flew to their home in the Burrow, which is where on a warm evening in late August our story continues. So there's like an entire cutscene or whatever they were planning on using, or they were planning on using that as like the intro cutscene rather than the like walking across the bridge and fire thing. But yeah, so that then you can like keep going through to the. This is all the dialogue in the game. This is literally just all of it. And it's all separated out. Asylum crashes the game. Yeah, it does. Like, you can't look at what's in there. Anyway. So. You can go through this dialogue. The first thing is... This is all Fred and George dialogue, by the way. So you have luminous balloons.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
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 Help. I can hear. Okay, there. I heard double for a second. We got another donation in. It's $1.69 from Yoshi, saying I give $1.50, 69 cents more than the $1 from yesterday. Kick W. So now it's $13 and oh gosh, math.
Or is it 69? 30, it'd be 31.
Thank you. It's still too early for me. So 13:31.
Yeah.
13:31 left until birthday song. So get donating for that. It's for a great cause as well.
There's 5 minutes left. We're nearly done with this tune, so.
Oh my gosh, it's 5 minutes left, guys. You have 5 minutes. Let's do this. Let's get during her birthday song, guys. You can do it. I believe.
Yeah, so we have luminous balloons, and then I heard you've tried those dung bombs on Malfoy. So there were dung bombs in the game as well. So you can actually stink pellets. Dung bombs, how much are they? So originally you'll be able to buy dung bombs as well. Not sure what they would have done. I assume the same as they do in HP1 or HP3, which is just sort of stink up at the place. And then you have, there we go. How much is the Locomotor Mortis spellbook? There's more about that in a sec. Wait, where is it? Here. The Locomotor Mortis spell allows you to cast the Leglocker curse yourself. Go on, try on Malfoy. So I assume it was a way of you like sneaking past prefects originally, but I assume they cut it out because it was a pain to add in. And then you have just tons of dialogue. And then you have all this like all these dialogues to numbers of beans, which goes out to all the way up to 200, even though it's physically impossible to ever have 200 beans. You can't hold that many. You can only ever hold 150 at most. And then there's, this is the dialogue at the end of the game. And later, Harry managed to release the devoted house elf Dobby from the slavery of Lucius Malfoy. And then you have some flying text. Need to find, and then the last thing I wanted to show off was, this is just all lots of like, ow, ooh, Harry, stop, Harry, please stop it, use those beans. One bean, bean. Locomotor Mortis, Expelliarmus, Flipendo. Oh, here we go. Are we ready? So, I'm going to give you a dramatic reading of all the different ways in the game that Ron can say he's tired, including the ones that were cut from the game. Are we ready? Cool. I'm really, really tired, Harry. Why aren't you? There's one. You must be worn out, Harry. I know I am. I don't know where you get the energy. I'm completely shattered. Don't know about you, but I'm so tired. I could sleep for a week. There's nothing more we can do. I'm for bed. There's nothing more we can do. I'm turning in. I'm turning in, Harry. There's nothing more to do. Do you ever sleep, Harry? There's nothing more to do. So I'm for bed. I need me beauty sleep, Harry. I assume that was a Hagrid one that got cut. I assume. Otherwise, Ron turns pirate for a second. Must sleep now. Flippin' heck, Harry. Don't you ever sleep? Blimey, I'm so tired I could sleep for England. I need some shut-eye. Why don't you get some too? I'm so tired I feel like I've drunk a draft of the living dead. I'm so exhausted I feel like I should go into hibernation for the rest of the year. You know, I'm more worn out than an old school broom. Good night, Harry. And that's all the ways they cut for you to be able to say, I'm going to bed, Harry. There are just so many of them. And some of them are so awful. Like, who wrote, like, I'm more worn out than an old school broom. Yeah, but then the rest of this is just, like, random dialogue. Just lots of random stuff, all, like, the side questy stuff. Go on then, Goyle. Also, fun fact, actually, so this has the dialogue for both Crab and Goyle. You only ever fight one of them in Xbox and GameCube. You fight both of them in PS2. So they were obviously planning on using both originally in this version as well, but didn't. Fun fact. And then you have the names of all the characters. These are all the Witcher Wizard cards. Then you have the debug menu stuff. You have the start menu stuff. There's not really much else here. You have, obviously, history book collected. Oh, you collected one nut, apparently. They're not a thing in this game, but you collected one. You collected one galleon, also not a thing in this game. Sorry, Canut. Is it pronounced Canut? It's my bad. And then you just have tons of, like, random stuff. And then you have all the flavours here. So I can read you what the flavours are as well. Let's spend a bit more time doing this. So you have strawberry, cherry, raspberry, cinnamon, blueberry, spearmint, blackberry, plum, banana, grapefruit, lemon, popcorn, boogers, sick, yuck, underpants, phlegm. That's it. So all the time we've been farming, those are the flavours. Those are the flavours you get. But yeah, I think we are pretty much, there's not really anything else to show off, so I think we are pretty much done with this. Are there any last minute donations, June, that you want to read out? Yeah, that's really it for this game, debug wise. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that and got some sort of informative view from that.
But what are we gonna do about the birthday song?
What number are we at?
3669 out of 50.
So I can sing like the first, the first 3 quarters? I guess that's how it works. Approximately 3 quarters.
So like you can end after Dare June, right?
Yes,
Unless
I can.
there's any last second donations, I get the whole song. But
this is
seem like it.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting because I have not warmed up at all.
Get...
So we will see what happens.
Okay, I'm gonna enjoy every second of it though.
Hopefully the mic isn't going to explode if I sing too loudly. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear June. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's not the same.
It feels very awkward finishing there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you though.
That's okay.
That was a great performance. I got my name in it as well.
Just about got your name in.
So I'm going to clip that so I have it forever. Yes.
Sorry, wait a sec, Tedder. Sorry.
No final words.
There you go,
from
Tedder.
me.
No, I have no final words. I hope people enjoyed seeing a bit more of like the testing side of these games, because obviously at Potterthon you only really get to see the runs, so it's cool to see like how people look into the games and like the behind the scenes stuff. And I think this showed it off very well, what we've discovered about the games. But yeah, hopefully people enjoyed the runs, even if the 100% run was not brilliant. It was still fun for me. Hopefully people enjoyed it. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and I will be back.